welcome back to the channel. This is a block of aluminum. It's 2 inches thick, 5 inches wide. It's got a reasonable mass to it, and we're going to turn it into something, but we're only going to use wood turning tools. Is it possible? I don't know. I've been wanting to try this for a while, and I've managed to pick up this piece of metal, so we're going to give it a go. The first problem we've got is how do we attach it to the lathe? We can't use a worm screw. I don't have any jaws big enough to grab hold of it as is. So the best way I can think of doing this is with a waste block of wood and a worm screw, turn it round and then epoxy one to the other. And then at least we'll be able to turn a grip on this side for us to turn it round and hollow it out. Well, that's the idea. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Okay. First thing I need to do is to mark the center of this aluminum block. This is nice and round. And then with a pin punch, right, you'll see why we're doing that in a little bit. Right, we can put that to one side for the moment. Get our waste block on. Excellent. It's not perfectly round, but we don't need it to be. The next thing we need to do now is to make up a bit of epoxy resin for us to glue this up to. Right, this is just a normal 2-part epoxy that you can buy at own at all the big box stores. Apply this to the face. There you go, nice even covering. Now we're going to put our non-marked side against it, bring up our tailstock, and use our little pinpoint that we made at the start to line it up. Lock that in, give it a tighten, then we wait. Okay, it's had a few hours to dry. I do have one slight problem, that it's not quite as central as I would have liked it to have been. I don't know quite how that's happened, but it's happened, so we've got to deal with it. So at the start, I'm just going to carefully work up the edges to make this round. Now, as I mentioned at the start, I've never turned aluminium, well, not solid aluminium before, so we're not quite sure how this is going to cut. I think I'm going to put a glove on just in case. And we'll get started. I'm going to start off with a carbide. Well, it cuts. That's good news. Get some nice shavings off it. Right, I'm going to carry on going. I think it's going to take longer than I initially expected. Right, as we're here and as we can, let's have a quick go with the gouge. Well, progress is going. It's going slowly, but it's going. We'll try a few different techniques, different tools to see if we can take off a bit more of this at once, but progress is progress. Okay, well, it's getting bowl shaped. I'm really not looking forward to hollowing this out, but I want to put a bit of decoration in here if I can. So I'm just going to put a bead in, I think. Okay, right, I'm going to smooth out this little bit of surface and then we'll start worrying about how we're going to chuck this when we turn it round. Still needs a bit of work on the edge, but it's much better than it was. Right, I'm going to take the tailstock away now. I'm just trying to do something with the bottom. Got a recess. Right, just go across there with a scraper. Tighten up, maybe put a couple of beads in, and then we'll sand, smooth, whatever you want to call it. Right, I'm going to start sanding, for want of a better word. Polishing, I suppose would be a better word. Right, I'm going to take all the precautions necessary, full mask, extraction on, because although we haven't got wood chips going around, we will have aluminium dust, which you don't want to be inhaling. That was fun. Right, that's up to 600 grit. There's no point in putting isopropyl alcohol on this, but I am going to try a abrasive paste. I don't know how well this will work, if at all, but there's only one way of finding out. I think we can say that worked. I was going to take it to one step further and use an ultra-fine abrasive wax. I mean, that's done a pretty good job, but I think we can go a little bit further. If you are going to try this, obviously all the usual safety precautions, but if you don't have any ultra-fine ultra-fine paste, then I do believe toothpaste will work just as well. That's quite nice. Right, I'm going to give this a bit of a clean off, and I will use isopropyl, but then we'll just put a little finish on top of a bit of wax on top, just to help protect the metal while we have it turned round. Right, I'm going to go and wash my hands while this is evaporating, and I'll put a wax on. Okay, let's get this turned round. Okay, we've got it turned round. I'm just going to quickly part it off, and then we can start trying to hollow this thing out. Look at that chip. That's my favourite so far. I shall keep him forever. don't think we can class that as precision engineering, but it's certainly saved me a day and a half. This is full actual hard work. I start to sweat. Right, we're approaching to what I want to be the bottom. If this was wood, it would be deeper, but there's only so many hours in the day. I think it'd be nice with a bit of weight to it. Right, it might be alright to start sanding. I've got little, I'm not sure if there's a dip or something in there. Actually, I'll just try and do another quick pass of that centre. It's very hard to see with the shiny surface if that's, or what that is exactly in the middle there, so. Lovely mess from the outside. I should sand away. Right, I'm going to start sanding. You could probably done with a bit deeper, but I'm exhausted. I put a nice little dip in this rim just for a bit of detail. Right, I'll get ready. Right, we're hollowed out and we're sanded, and it's a great feeling. So now we can just go through the abrasive pastes and put a bit of wax on it, and then we can take a look at what we've done and then talk about why on earth we did it. Okay, I'm going to go and wash my hands so I dare touch this, and then we'll take a look at what we've done. Well, there we go. At the start we asked, is it possible to turn aluminium or aluminum with wood turning tools? And yes, it is. It's just very time consuming. I'm not quite sure exactly how long it's taken me, but I think hands-on turning it's probably taken about 3 hours to produce this, where normally it would just take minutes, a ball this size. But I'm very pleased with it. I've still got a little nibble at that centre, but at least when people see a little mistake like that, they'll know it's mine. So I'm fine with that. The design-wise, it's nice, it's tactile. If there's any metal workers out there, what would you put on this to keep the fingerprints off it? I'm not quite sure exactly what to use. I put a wax on the outside, which should help, but I'm just wondering if there's anything else that you would put on it. So if you know, then please leave a note in the comments. But apart from that, thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. I'll have a bath now.